Welcome or welcome back, beautiful souls, to the channel. I'm Shika, your conscious mentor, and today I will be going over the Sagittarius full moon on June 14th, 2022 and what you need to know. In this video, I'm going to be pulling out some cards, letting you know how to really work with this moon, not only the day of, 3 days before, 3 days after, as this whole week is going to bring a lot of messages of what we are about to receive in the future, especially the next few months. So I'm really excited to get into this video. Before we get into the video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, put notification bells. I do these new moon and full moon videos every single month, and I do weekly videos on shadow work, angel numbers, healing, and really understanding how to be a conscious being. So if you feel like you resonate and you want to be part of the family, make sure you subscribe down below. If you want to go deeper into your healing, don't forget to apply for my one-on-ones down below, my plant medicine ceremonies, as well as my retreats and courses and so much more. And before we get into this video, I want to give a big shout out and thanks to Keen. Keen is the sponsor of this video. Keen is an online platform where you can be paired up with psychics, readers, tarot card readers that can help and support you with any kind of, predictions or any kind of life experience advice that you need. And I love going to them. They were actually the first website that I used when I started going to readings and wanting to learn more. And the great thing is they have someone that is there to help you out 24/7, no matter where you are in the world. So it is really, really great. I'm actually going to link down below a link for you so you can get your first 10 minutes for $1.99. And let me know how your journey or your experience is. Let me know in the comments, how was your reading and what came up for you, because it definitely does help me when I'm going through my day and I just really want someone to hold space and do a reading for me. So really excited for that. Let's get into this beautiful reading for the Sagittarius full moon on June 14th, 2022. So first and foremost, are there any Sagittariuses here? Sagittarius moon, rising, sign? Let me know down below because you guys are probably most interested in this video. However, I will say we all have different, placements depending on our birth chart. So this is going to affect all of us. I also want to apologize if you can hear my neighbors cutting grass. Of course, every time I do a video, it happens and we're at the end of retrograde and I am recording and then they're doing grass, but it's okay. They're cutting the grass. It's gonna work. We're gonna make it through and it's gonna be great. It's divine. It's also really hot here because it's the summer right now in Canada, and I live in an old home, so it is boiling. Let's get into the Sagittarius full moon. So the first thing you need to know is that this Sagittarius full moon on June 14th, 2022 there is a search to revisit your life's meaning. And the reason why I share that is last month was kind of like no man's land. I talked about this in a reading. I did a week reading. If you want to go check that out, I'll link it here or down below for you lovely souls. And I talked about how the past Gemini New Moon was all about us understanding how to blend our versions of ourselves, our shadow, our light self, our transformation. And we've kind of got to this point of our experience where we're in transition, and that transition is called no man's land. And when you think of no man's land, you think of this territory where it is an island that has no one on it. There is a space where there's absolutely no being. However, no one can tell you what not to do. That's the beauty of it. So even though there is this serene energy, and as I'm talking to you, there's a spider crawling on my ceiling, which is creativity, abundance, shadow work, healing, all of that. So it's just so interesting that's coming through for us. But all this to say is that really asking yourself, what is your life's meaning? Maybe it's been redefined. Maybe your purpose and your meaning of relationships has changed since doing your shadow work. What does partnership mean to you? What does soulmate mean to you? Not what you were taught and what you were born into. Maybe this is a time with the Sagittarius full moon is all about adventure. This sign is very adventurous. So this is a point where you get to discover what do you want in a relationship to say that it is serving you, right? When we look at abundance, I talked about this with the new moon, but also in the energy update for the week that happened previously, is that we are looking at this energy of, we look at everyone and we see what they're succeeding, and then we think we have to make that our life. That is the representation of a exciting life, a happy life, an abundant life, and really it may not be. So you're really getting to make this new perspective and finding ways through these changes to really create a new space for you. This is a space where co-creation happens. So this, Sagittarius full moon's all about stating and scripting your manifestations. I do have a video on scripting. Maybe I'll link it here for you lovely souls, and how to script effectively for your manifestations. But I would highly, highly suggest this is a time of feeling adventurous, exploring new things, exploring this new era of life. We just went through such deep shadow work together as a collective. And now it's like, I just want to be optimistic. We've gone through so much with the retrograde. We're currently in this, the Saturn retrograde in Aquarius as well. And I want to do a video actually on that, because there's been so many downloads on that, and I might even share little nimbits on the Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. But all you need to know for now is just really understanding with this full moon. You're like, Chica, all you have to know for now in terms of the Sagittarius full moon is that this is a way of just going through and finding what life means. What is your why? Your why has changed. All of our whys have changed. I remember when I started doing healing, my why was just a healer. I was like, I'm called to be a healer. And a lot of you have shared that. Like, I'm called to be a space holder. I'm called to be a mentor. It's changed. Now I hold the space of a medicine woman. I'm called to help with the carrier of being a medicine woman. I'm called to work through shamanic arts and work with my ancestors and work with your ancestors to heal. So that's all of my purpose now. My why is that. What is my why of a happy life? It's travel. It's spending most of my time having space for myself. And that is so different, because even a few years ago, having space for myself, I felt uncomfortable with that. So it's like your future self, your higher self you've been working towards is here. It's here to embody through the Sagittarius full moon on June 14, 2022. And you're just understanding now why. What is your why? You've done all this healing work. Now where are you at? Why are you here? Why did you do this work? What is coming for you? It's coming back to you in tenfolds. There's this like healing karma that's coming for those who've been really focusing on shadow work. It's been a really deep, hard medicine the past few years. Now it's like things come full forward and you're seeing that, which is big. For those of you who are space holders, that are healers, that are content creators here, that are wanting to go that direction, this is where you find your why. Spirit's going to kind of create a certain way where they're going to make you find your why through people, I like to call them walking angels. I go to a store and then there's this stranger that I've never seen in my life, and they say something, it resonates with me, and it really sits there. I look back and I don't see the person. Or I'm just at the store at the cash and someone's telling me a story and I'm like, wow, this is really for me today. It's almost like right now you have no way to run away from your why. You have no way to start creating a plan of how you're going to step away from your job. If that is something that is happy for you, remember, not entrepreneur life isn't for everyone. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to be a healer. You can be a healer and a teacher. You can be a healer as a nurse. I've worked with some clients who are nurses and they're healers. So, just finding what your why is, not what you see around you, which is a big thing about the Sagittarius full moon. Going into the shadow as well 3 days after is how much of that is actually from your heart and how much of that was taught to you and you think that is a happy life, that is your why. So you're getting rid of that and you're seeing your truth, your being. You're releasing this perspective that someone has to give you your why. You need to go retrieve it into your soul yourself during this full moon. Woo! Big download. I didn't even have time to pull a card because Spirit was just like, woo, woo. And I find when I do more of these, I just feel like I don't even pull cards as much because there's so much here. Okay, ready? Oh, this is beautiful. I just got a card that was there before for you guys. You ready? These are all positive. Last reading I had, you guys were like, is there anything positive for the Gemini New Moon in this week in the retrograde? We go through roller coasters, right? This one is exciting. There's ups, there's downs, but overall it's a really good full moon and it's really gonna pick us up energetically. There's joy, there's happiness that I feel when I tap into this energy. So we have a leg up. Okay, so we got a little bear energy. I don't know if any of you resonate with bear energy, bear spirit animal, bear totem. That might be something that is talking to you. Receiving help and delegating authority, independence. So for you to find your why, you're going to create more space for yourself. Right? So here it's really telling me, how are you asking for help? How are you asking your partner for help, your family for help? I talked about this a bit in the energy update the other week. I said that I know some of you who have kids, ask for help. I know that I need to get it done myself. It's me or no one. I'm a single mom. You know, my partner's always busy, whatever it is. Mamas, you need to ask for help, right? It's actually not like just you. There's so much pressure on you. You need to, ask for it. People who, have been told that they have to make it their own, that maybe their parents, their family wasn't around that often. Their inner child thinks that they need to survive and be in survival mode. This is like the full moon in Sagittarius. This is opening of like, wait, I actually don't have to. I don't have to be in this survival mode. I can actually take a break. I can actually have joy. I can actually give my assistant things to do. I can ask family members for support. I can ask a friend, hey, can you just hold space for me? Ask yourself in the shadow work prompt for this Sagittarius full moon on June 14th, 2022 is, how can you delegate more help and support and ask people for help? Get the ego away, step into humility, because this is what's going to help you with your why. We don't actually go through life alone. Even when we feel alone, there are people and archetypes that play a role in our life to allow us to be reminded that, one, we can't run away from what we need to heal. Obviously, there's the manifestation law that you get to choose if you want to, and law of attraction law, but we can't run away from it. And two, that even though we come into this world alone and we leave this world alone, it's not actually alone. Like, you were created in this generation, this lineage, right? And you have to remember that remembering of it. Even if your lineage has had such a hard history, that was something I had to go through personally. And a lot of you have been sharing with me, having one-on-one conversations, or people I mentor, is like, Shika, my ancestral lineage, I can't see it being happy. Now it's like, you can ask for help. You found safeness during this full moon to ask for help, to find a community, which I'm going to go into this card, community. This is a time to call in community with your why. Find other people who also have a similar why with you. Come into collaboration, co-creation. This is huge. Even more so than myself, I've been feeling more and more called to support more group stuff. You guys see that I put the mystery programs and everything. Those are all ways for people to step into, right? Group, learning in groups. I do Cambo ceremonies. If that's something you're interested in, you can go down below and sign up for that. That's in a group. I also do it one-on-one. All these things are, where is your community? And the number we have on this card is 8. I don't know if you guys can see that. 8. 8 is infinity, right? We are eternal beings that are connected to all, and we choose what we want to deepen our connection with. We choose and we manage our energy of who we want to. That means every person in our life, whether they have done something good or bad or in between, they are part of our connection. They are a mirror of who we are. We are part of this one inclusive space. So why wouldn't you ask for help? Why would you deny someone to give you their love, right? So I'm just going on with these readings, but this is deep, understanding what is your community, what type of community do you want. They're coming in during the time of the Sagittarius full moon. You just have to nod your head and say, yes, I'm welcoming that support. I'm welcoming that need of like knowing that I can work together. There's no competition, and that I can create this adventure of this why through other people who are just passionate as that. And we create this egregore of energy to impact externally and internally within. Huge. We got truth be told and deep knowing. These cards go hand in hand. So we got the moon here, which is beautiful for this full moon, and it's a full moon. And we also have truth be told, which this card came out in the last one. So I'm going to repeat it again. We are removing masks and we are finding our why. We are not allowing people to define who we are. We're not allowing people to define who that is, and we're remembering that. Oh, right, I do not need to allow that judgment of my family to come in. I don't need to allow my ex's experiences and the things that they said, the condescending things that they said, to be my truth, because it's only my truth if I receive it and I accept it. Okay? So I think that's so important. Receive and accepting it. Are you accepting what people are saying to judge you? If it's a yes, then yeah, it will matter what people are saying because you're allowing it to matter. But if you remove those masks and you allow yourself to be vulnerable and allow yourself to have a butterfly moment coming out of the cocoon, you know, no one judges a butterfly. It keeps doing what it needs to do and it transforms and it goes through the cycle of life. We do that as well. But, you know, the bees aren't saying, oh, those butterflies. No, they just all work together. Look at nature. We forget that we are part of nature because we have tried to extract ourselves from who we are, which we are animalistic primal beings, you know, who like fancy things. But we forget we're connected to nature. So really big, there's this deep knowledge that you're going to learn of your why. And it's something that for some of you, you might know right away. And others, it's something new. You know, it's not what you expect. And I can definitely attest to that. Like my calling of what I'm going to do, I know what I am and who I can be, and even what I am is can change. I'm not attached to it. But I know that this is where Spirit wants me to help and support you guys. So like videos like this and mentoring as well and healing. And I'm just following that. And I don't know what the next step is. I don't need to know, because is that gonna really help me? Not really. I can only plan so much, right? So figure out your why, your passion through this time. There's a remembering during the Sagittarius full moon. And I really want you to come into what is my why? How can I allow myself to ask for more support and to remove that pressure off of myself? And what masks are continuing to dissolve, and like you're peeling an onion during this time? What masks have to be dissolved for you to step into your manifestations, for you to step into your why, for you to step into this idea of abundance to you? The second thing you need to know about the Sagittarius full moon on June 14th, 2022 is that take time to make a vision board and new affirmations that can remind you of your why and why you're here. So one of the biggest things is I love going on YouTube. I love looking at affirmations. You guys know, if you don't know, I have a video on a morning affirmation and night affirmation meditation that you can go to sleep with and also wake up to as well in the morning. There's another one. If you feel like you want to check that out, it is very helpful. However, what I love to do about these things is I do these videos and I take out the affirmations I love, or I change them to something that's adaptable to myself. So even though we have the full moon and it's in Sagittarius and we have it 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after, knowing that we need to be reminded of our why we're here, why we're in this experience, what are we doing, our why, right? So when we think of it that way, knowing that you are continuing to do this deep healing between the full moon and the next new moon, which is happening at the end of this month. So it's not like I just do my practices and my rituals and that's it. I forget my why. You need to then take action and use your masculine energy within. So the first part is your why, which is your feminine, the creative. That's why the spider was there. Creative, the divine, the connection, the manifestation, the scripting, the visual meditation. There's that, right? But then we have to allow our human to have healthy discipline to say, okay, what are we going to do with that now? How are we going to act with that? And that's why I said the Saturn retrograde in Aquarius is really interesting, because it's actually telling us that there will be miscommunications. There will be frustration of governing, organizations or beings that are in the space that are going to test you a little bit. There will be an idea of karma. And if you guys want me to do a video on the Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, let me know with the Saturn emoji down below. I'd love to do it. But again, this is such a deep understanding, a reverence of what is your vision. You know, it's changed a lot. It's not the same as it was a month ago, most likely not. And it definitely is not the same a year ago. So maybe create a new vision board, put it on your phone. I have my vision board on my screensaver or on your laptop, somewhere where you can see it. It will not be useful to you if you just do it and you're like, oh, this is cute, take a few little Instagram stories and that's it. No, like you have to have it somewhere where you'll be reminded. Some things that I've seen people do is actually like drawing in lipstick or in like, I don't know, on their mirror, an affirmation every single day. If that's something that resonates with you, doing that and putting that action there. But have affirmations that will remind you of your why. So for me, it's my passion. It's what I'm meant to do here. So I am a goddess warrior that is here to help people step into their shadow and understand how to integrate within their being. That's like my main being. This is my main intention for this YouTube channel and everything. I step into that power and I channel and I help and support. I'm in a space of service for people. I open a door and I say, do you want to walk in? Cool, let's walk in together. And I let you see what you gotta see. Right? But you don't have to walk into that space. So even though when I have that mission, I know that whoever is meant to see this video, whoever is stepping into my healings, whoever is doing my mentoring programs with me, they are meant to be in that space because I know my why. And my why is what's going to keep me in alignment of where I'm meant to be. And where you are right now is exactly where you need to be. So this is the purpose of affirmations. This is the purpose of, you know, having a vision board. It's to have those rememberings so that on those days where it is really hard, because there are those days even for myself, I can go back and remember, oh, this is my why. This is why I'm here. This is why I've been going through this whole journey. So this is huge. Helps you stop looking back at people's backyard, so to speak. So it was really funny. I was channeling with spirit and I was like, backyard, what do you mean by that? Just picture yourself in your house and your dream home, and you have your backyard and you have all the things in there, and it might have a pool, it might have a sauna, it might have all the stuff. But then you look at Jimmy Joe's neighborhood and you're like, ooh, they got a bigger pool, they got a bigger sauna, they have like this nice bar outside and all these things. What do? Our human wants to compare and say, oh, well, he has a better backyard than I do, right? That is something that was taught to us. When we think of kids, when you look at children, one of my favorite things is they just want to play. They're like, you got a toy, I got a toy, let's play. The only time that kids don't get along is when they don't respect each other's boundaries, or that some adult or some person taught them something, or they experienced something that they didn't process, and now they've created a belief system around it. Right? So if you think of all the years and lifetimes that we've had those experiences where someone wasn't there to allow us to process our emotions, to explain something, to understand our why within ourselves, then we go around thinking that we have to compare and that we have to look at, you know, Jimmy Joe's backyard and say, why don't I have that bigger pool? Maybe I need a bigger raise to get that. But when we get there, we feel like there's this empty void. Because it's not actually what we wanted. We wanted it because we looked at Jimmy Joe's over there and we said, this is what I want because Jimmy Joe got it over there. So again, this is what the purpose of affirmations, of the vision board. It's a tool to be reminded. So use it as a tool. I know every time I swipe my phone, I'm like, woo, money's coming to me easily and quickly because I got some money affirmations on there. I got a money thing there and I know that it's coming to me. Ooh, my dream home is right there and I cannot wait. Like, these are the excitements and the things that I see and I'm like, oh, or those days where I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything. Like, I don't like my day. The Sagittarius full moon's that reminder of like, whoa, I got my affirmations to hold me through this month and this energy. So 6 months from now in December, I'm going to be like, wow, things are about to lift off and I'm so excited. My why and reminding myself of my why was so worth it. And now I know why. Okay. Even though we don't need to know why to make our action, we just do it. Dream, action, do it. That's it. The fourth thing you need to know about this Sagittarius full moon on June 14th, 2022 is that you will feel more positive, excited for life. You might feel more social. You might want to travel more. We're in June, so I know a lot of us haven't been able to travel. I know for myself, that's something that I'm honoring and calling in as well. So, you're just more positive. Like, start to write down what are some things you want to do this like month or this summer. One of my favorite things that I actually gave one of my clients, and I'm actually going to offer it to you to do, is I want you to write down 111 things that you want to do this summer. You're like, what, Shika? I don't even know if I can think about that many. That's okay. You will. We're going from anything small from I'm going to eat my favorite Kit Kat one day to I'm gonna have coffee in bed, to I'm going to celebrate when I get 2 clients in my business, to I'm going to celebrate when I hire a mentor, to I'm going to, you know, have, I don't know, celebrate that I made a garden, that I went to the grocery store and I got an hour to do it on my own without the kids. What are things that make you happy? They don't have to be big, you know, things. They don't have to be like, I want to get a big pool like Jimmy Joe next door. Like we don't need Jimmy Joe's pool. Okay, Jimmy Joe's over there. But all this to say is that, you know, in the Sagittarius full moon is we're asking ourselves, finding time for things that we love to stay that positive energy, to be on course of our vibration and frequency of our why, to be on course to the actions of what we need to do for us to step into our purpose, to create that adventure, to create that excitement in our life. And it doesn't mean you have to go on a private jet to Maldives to be excited. You know, for some of you, maybe that is something that you like. That's awesome. But I'm just saying that it actually starts with the small things. We just need to bring a little bit more gratitude into the small things more. And as you go through those things, you just check it off, like be like a little smiley, and don't check it off, put a little smiley emoji beside it or a little heart if it's in your notebook. And you're like, yay, I'm going to celebrate that I got time to have a Kit Kat today, that I got to go for a walk for 20 minutes this morning, that I got to have coffee in bed, that I went to the grocery store without the kids and I loved grocery shopping, that I got to, you know, book a little getaway in my town. Whatever it is, go and make that list. It's going to be really great for the Sagittarius full moon. Let's pull out a card. I've been on this like channeling, like I said, ever since my initiation with Cambo. I feel like cards are great, but I've been using them as tools where I don't rely on them. And now I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever cards come out. So let's see what cards we have on, you know, positivity and social life. Let's see. Okay, we got 2 cards. Poised. Okay, I love this card. So we got poised. That's 4-8, which is the number here. And let's read this one for you, lovely beings, souls, angels. Being ready, bringing something to light, being at your best in confidence. You can be assured that you are ready for anything that is right now, and you know that what you need to, and your skills are sharp. You've come to this place armed with wisdom and knowledge, and you sense a new phase in your life. Newness. This is what the Sagittarius full moon is all about. It's feeding into creating that great energy of newness to give food to your new spirit that you've been going through with this healing. It is to do the things you love, spend more time doing the things you love, to be more positive, to stop focusing on what you don't have and more of what you do, and create adventure within your life, no matter what the restrictions may occur, which we have with the Aquarius Saturn retrograde. But, you know, again, that's going to cause us to be more creative. And it's going to make us sit down and make that list and to make that vision board and to make those affirmations and to stick to it even on those days where we feel like we don't want to journal or we don't want to put those affirmations on there are the days that we need it the most. People respond to your confidence and trust. This is auspicious time for the beginning of new things. So even though we have this Saturn playing with karma, those who've been healing and doing this work and doing the lessons and showing up again and again, you're getting tenfold. So your Saturn retrograde in Aquarius that's going on from June 4th till the 28th of October, that whole time, 2022, sorry, my video cut off. That whole time is going to be abundant for you. You're going to be receiving so much from your ancestors and your guides. And I'm going to pull out an ancestor card for this because this is huge. Bring confidence and trust and allow your dreams to kind of pull that string and allow the domino effect to happen. So the biggest thing you need to do is really spend this week of Sagittarius full moon 3 days before, 3 days after, you know, June 14th, 2022, and focus on raise my frequency. What raises your frequency, and commit to those things. Let's see what your ancestors have for you, because I have a card that I feel like is wanting to speak to you. This card doesn't want to go back, so we're gonna take it out. Hunter, track down your fears and desires. This is so good. I'm such in a good mood today. So this is huge. Track down your fears and your desires, okay? So this card is amazing. We have the Hunter here, and the Hunter's energy is all about the amount of time we use on our fears and how things aren't working. If we were to just take a fraction of that time and put it into our desires, we wouldn't even think twice about why we're manifesting things and when things are coming. So it's understanding that desires and fears are actually the same frequency. They both can be manifested instantly, and we are running towards it with a horse. On a horse, running towards whatever it is. So you have a choice during the Sagittarius full moon on June 14th, 2022, to run towards your fears or to run towards what you want. And let me just tell you, guess what number is on this page? 4-4. You add that together, that's 8, abundance, infinity. Okay, so if this isn't like an abundant time, I can't stress this enough. The Spirit's talking here. Track down all your fearful thoughts and feelings. When you find them, you will find your desires too. When we are jealous, when we are envious, when we are fearful, when we feel abandoned, what it's saying is, I'm abandoned, I want to be loved. I'm angry, I want to be loved. I'm guilty, I want to feel embraced. I want to feel that I can choose myself. I'm shameful, I don't feel like I'm empowered, right? I don't have abundance, I feel broke, I haven't claimed my abundance. I feel frugal and I feel like there's a limitation. So when we step into our fears, we can understand our why of what we want, what our soul wants, what our spirit wants, and what our human wants, because we're balancing those two worlds, right? So the Hunter is a card that is based on the favorite Celtic god, Sermonos, which here this god is all about hunting and the hunter. Okay, he has this hunter energy. When you look at his energy, when you look at his eyes, it's like hunting. He's hunting for this energy. I don't know if you guys can see. Okay, great. Your fears are only things that are standing between you and what you desire at this time. So you have to come to face with them, and as the hunter does, the wild animals, and go beyond them. Find that fear as much as it's uncomfortable, embrace it, work through it, and behind it is a door of what you want. And for any of those who kind of feel like, I don't know where my why is, you start with your fear. You go into that fear, you feel it, you process that, and then from there, you can step into what you want to create, what your body, what your soul is calling to bring and to enjoy in this lifetime, okay? So that's huge. And then in that, we find peace. You know, we find the cosmic egg, we find peace in ourselves, we find peace in all of it. And there's the dove, which is love. We find this inner peace of loving ourselves again, of feeling like we are wanted, of feeling that we do have a purpose, that we have a reason why we're doing it, that all of this work and all of this trauma and all this pain is why I had to be here, is for this why. And if I didn't go through it, I wouldn't be able to receive it the way that I am in this current moment. So, you know, giving gratitude for that. And this is what your ancestors are saying, you know, stop running away from your fear, because when you run away from your fear, you're running away from your desires. Let that sink in a bit. When you're running away from your fear, you're running away from your desires. Let's have an affirmation here, because I feel like we need a little affirmation break here at this point of the reading. What affirmation do we have for fear? 2 cards came out. Peace, discipline. So this is how you will conquer your fear. If there's fear playing in any of your life, listen to these affirmations, maybe write them down for your affirmations of the day and through this time. Peace. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. This is the peace card. And the peace card here has some blue, which we're looking at the throat chakra. We're looking at, you know, the upper chakra. So finding peace of our mind, finding peace in our communication, which is why I have the Lapis program that I'm doing. It's all about communication during this month. If you want to join that course, you can down below. Discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. And this is all the third eye. Where is our mind using most of its energy? Okay, it's fear. So when I can set my mind to my fear, I can accomplish moving through that and then receive my desire. And this is what it's about. It's create this fear, be a hunter, like you're on a hunting, like an egg hunt, you know, for Easter, people do egg hunts for Easter. It's big here in Canada during that time when you hunt things, which is funny because we've been hunting a lot of our shadow and healing. And then when we hunt it, we find it and we're like, here's all this love and light. I love you so much, shadow. I love you so much, all these fears. And then they don't know what to do and they just disintegrate because they're like, I can't bear this love. I need negativity to survive, right? So when we can step and we think that way, we're like, oh, okay, it is worth working through that. It is worth moving through that energy. The last thing you need to know about the Sagittarius full moon on June 14th, 2022, is that your guides are clapping because they finally are trusting something that you have been fighting to surrender for a while. Think of a red carpet or think of a party, a surprise party, and your best friend or your family member or someone who knows you comes in and they're like, we have something, we wanted to bring you out for tea and stuff. And you're like, okay, yeah, sure. And like, what should I wear? And like, wear this, blah, blah, blah. You get to the room and every ancestor of your lineage is there. Every ancestor through anything, it doesn't matter. All of them are there. All the friends, all the people who in the lifetimes that have helped you, all the twin flames, all the soulmates, they're all there and they're clapping and they're ecstatic and they just see you and it's like they've seen a celebrity and they're so happy to see you and they're like, wow, we have been waiting for you and we finally get to celebrate you. This is the moment of Sagittarius. It's like, wow, you found your why. Wow, you're confident. Wow, you're trusting the process. Wow, you're joyful. You're allowing yourself to be happy. You're allowing yourself to create space. You're allowing yourself to create adventure in your life again. You know, and not just allowing yourself to stay in the same routine, stick with the same, you know, story. You can change your story. You don't have to be the story of your trauma. You don't have to be the story of your struggle. That's why I talked about the history of ancestors. A lot of our history, people of color, indigenous, all beings, it doesn't matter. We all have a history. It doesn't matter who you are. There is a history of our lineage that is not as good, and that is good. Right? And then when we tap into that, we're scared of going into that space, right? So this is an opportunity for us to bring peace and celebration. And they're like, yes, you're doing the work. Yes, honey, we're getting it in. So this is what it's all about. They're clapping. They're excited for you. But are you clapping for yourself? Mic drop. Are you clapping for yourself? Are you allowing yourself to be happy in this time? Feeling like there's a card here that wants to speak. Let's talk about clapping and how they should celebrate themselves. That's a big one for this Sagittarius full moon. Let's see what card comes out. Oh, this card's calling me. As soon as I came out and Spirit's like, don't put it back. And I was like, okay. So we got the Orphan. So this card when this card comes out, I really want to read it because what it's telling me is take yourself out of this I am alone, I am struggling mentality. 5 is change. You are having this phoenix moment where you're not alone and making yourself an orphan. A sense of loss, an identity crisis, a recognition of you don't fit in and need to belong in uncertainty and a place. So again, when we go into the shadow of this full moon, it's going to test us. It's going to make sure that we are not stepping into, oh, I need to go and do this because this is uncertainty and I don't know who I am, so let me just attach to Jomo's pool and get that because that's why I want to live life. I want to get his house, his success. I love that his kids go to this school. I love that car that he's wearing. Let me just be that. Let me just go there. Let me go on social media and follow that person and see what their life's like and focus on how amazing they're traveling and all those things. Let me just go through a doom scroll. That's gonna make me feel better. Let me just eat some chips and, you know, just keep eating because no one cares about me and I don't care about my body and I'm just like, whatever. Take yourself out of that space. That's why the vision board, the affirmations, the joy, like this full moon is helping you be positive, but don't reject it. How open are you to receiving, to not being a sense of crisis all the time, to not being in this sense of, you know, and it says no man is an island, and it's important to recognize when being a part of rather than separate from is essential of your well-being. You can still be part of your family even though you don't get along with them. You can still be part of work even though you might not get resonate with everyone. You can still be part of your childhood friend even though you can't talk to them about your moon rituals, but you find another common interest. Obviously, as long as that friend is for your best and highest good. Perhaps you are no longer identifying with a group of community the way that you did before. I need to find a new situation. This is why the community card comes up. You have an infinite amount of community, even if you can't see it right now. So what this card is saying is that, and what this orphan, how it's connected, is find peace in yourself to step away from the relationships that aren't feeding your why. And your why is your lifestyle, your why is your abundance, your why is your happiness, your why is your soul purpose to you, how you're defining it. Not what your parents have taught you, not what school has taught you, not what work has taught you, not what your partner has taught you, not what anyone has taught you, what your soul is longing for. And when we can step into that, then we can get a clear vision and know who we need to, okay, it was great, I thank you for this relationship, but we're on to another frequency. And who we're like, yes, love your why, love that, you support me, I support you, we're gonna go here and this feels good, right? So you might be falling a deep sense of loss of confusion, and that's gonna be normal. You know, the full moon, the day of the full moon, the shadow of the full moon is kind of like, okay, now that you've claimed these things, you've scripted it, you're manifesting it, now we're gonna just make sure that you're still in this energy. And you might feel ups and downs. And that is just you, again, transitioning into creating what you want to create on that no man's land. You know, maybe there's going to be a postponing, maybe there will be a detour, that's okay. But remember, your why, your affirmations, your vision board is grounding you, is continuing to ground you, right? So don't feel the pressure to fit in, don't feel the pressure to make things work because you feel guilty, because that's not going to feed to your highest good. What would your higher self want for you? What would your future self want for you? Step into that energy. So I hope you guys love this reading. I know this was a really deep one. I channeled so much in this one. Let me do an affirmation just to end this video. Let me know what's resonating with you, what's calling you, how are you feeling with the Sagittarius full moon coming up, and if you got some clarity from it. And I also want to share, if you feel called to go deeper into your healing, don't forget to apply for my mentoring down below. Attend my retreats. Yes, I have retreats. We can meet in person and do healing together and plant medicine ceremony and so much more. So if you're interested in that, that's down below, or you can DM me on Instagram or through my email, through my website if you want any information on that. I also have courses that are a great start for people with shadow work and healing. And I do Kambo ceremonies. So again, all that information is down below, and you can message me if you have any questions or need anything in terms of that. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. I know that if I resent where I need to go and my fears, I won't be able to receive my desire and the love that I want for my soul and my highest good. So again, we are forgiving here. We are allowing ourselves to know that we aren't perfect, even when we're finding our why, but we're definitely starting somewhere, and it's an adventure. And that's what Sagittarius energy is all about. Adventure, travel, experience, exploring, finding ourselves. If that is anything I can say, that is all Sagittarius energy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was really fun. I had a really great time chatting with you guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, put notification bells so you don't miss a video. I do videos every single week for you beautiful souls, and I will have a meditation video coming out soon for you loves, so you can make sure you don't miss that. Happy Sagittarius full moon on June 14th, 2022, and I hope you have an amazing Sagittarius full moon week. I love you so much. Sending you blessings, love, light, and lots of guidance. Bye.